Kevin Mathewson of the Kenosha County Eye has been pretty busy lately. He's been pushing out a lot of really interesting articles. I highly recommend, as I always recommend, that you go ahead and subscribe to the Kenosha County Eye. A lot of great articles about all of the shootings related to Kyle Rittenhouse. And of course, he's going to have a lot of stuff coming out about Dominic Black and Crystal Kaiser. So his latest is kind of a summary of what's been going on in terms of how likely is it that the Kenosha County District Attorney's Office is going to be able to operate efficiently and effectively given what happened in the trial with Clair Binger. The title is, Now that the world has seen how DA Mike Gravely's office operates, will justice be hindered in Kenosha County? Yes. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnnie Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnnie Walker Dread Show.
Oh, there he is, Mike Gravely. He's the district attorney of Kenosha County. He is Clair Binger's boss. And so it begins, the embattled Mike Gravely. And I'm not going to necessarily read all of this because, I want you to go to the actual online article and read the entire thing here. But let's go ahead and get some of this down. Kenosha ADA Clair Binger and ADA Jim Krause were prosecuting the most high-profile case of both their careers on Thursday. This marked the fourth of the trial against Kyle H. Rittenhouse. Where was their boss on this day? He was in Wisconsin Dells. Wisconsin Dells is about 2.5 hours from Kenosha and is a popular vacation spot boasting that it is the water park capital of the world. Was Gravely sipping on a margarita, cruising slowly around on an indoor lazy river? Was he having a swig at Nig's? Nig's? I actually checked. There's a bar called Nig's Bar. I don't know how they got away with that. That's insane. I hope that the owner is black. That's all I can say. Was he on an original Wisconsin Ducks tour? We will probably never know what he was doing. He doesn't talk to the press unless they are fluffing him. He is non-transparent. We know what he was not doing. He was not showing his presence in the Rittenhouse courtroom. He was not assisting his two prosecutors on the biggest case of their careers. Fond du Lac County DA and candidate for Attorney General Eric Toney was confused seeing Gravely in Wisconsin Dells. He wondered why he wasn't helping with the trial. It is clear why. Gravely didn't want any association with this case. He made the decision to charge this case even though he knew it could not be proven. Gravely's previous number 2, Angelina Gabrielle, who is now a judge, told the TV show Scorned that we are under an ethical obligation to not bring cases forward unless we believe we can prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. She was absolutely correct. Gravely broke this ethical obligation for politics' sake. He didn't prosecute the trial and instead found two suckers to take it, Clair Binger, Democrat, and Jason Zapp, Democrat. They are both far to the left. After several months, Zapp got sick of the death threats and went to work at One Call That's All. I don't know, is that the name of an actual law firm or something? I don't know. Jim Krause, Democrat, another far lefter, gladly took the second chair in this loser cause. Gravely is universally disliked by both sides of the aisle. Interesting. Okay. I mean, this is an opinion article, okay, and I'm just reading it. And why the right dislikes him, I mean, he's got a whole list here of reasons, and I will let you go on, look at the link, and so you could click on those and read them. It starts, he prosecuted Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old who shot and killed 2 people in clear self-defense. He was texting for months with a violence inciting BLM activist Whitney Cable or Cabal, I'm sorry. And I actually have a video where I read off the actual text messages. It is very interesting. So I'll put a link in the description below. And of course, these were all published where? The Kenosha County Eye. He was very weak on the prosecution of rioter arsonist Josh Zeminski. Well, that might be interesting to read. I'll have to check that out later. He refused to prosecute any of the riot kitchen folks. I don't know what he's referring to there, but again, maybe I'll read that a little bit later. He refused to prosecute Jacob Blake with any crimes from August 23rd, 2020. And again, there's a link to an article on this. He is weak on violent crime, too many incidents to list. He breaks the law and doesn't turn over public documents. He is currently in litigation for 2 lawsuits related to this. I have a feeling that the lawsuits are being brought on by Kevin Mathewson of the Kenosha County Eye. I'll have to read the link to find out for sure. And if you want to read up on this, you're going to have to go to his website. I'm not going to do any videos on those. I don't imagine. Why the left dislikes him. He is prosecuting Crystal Kaiser, a child sex trafficking victim, for murder after his office refused to prosecute her trafficker after finding evidence of hundreds of sex felonies of child porn and sexual assault. He refused to prosecute KPD officer Rustin Shesky for shooting Jacob Blake. He is tough on petty marijuana and other minor drug crimes. All right, here we go. Clair Binger. Clair is a weird dude. He wore Star Wars pins during the trial. He has a Star Trek license plate holder and decals of Star Wars and Star Trek on the back of his car. Come on, man. In Joe Biden's voice, I like Star Trek and Star Wars as much as the next guy. Frankly, I hate both of them. But keep that off your car. You're 51. He may or may not have had an email address, flufferboy2004@yahoo.com. What? Flufferboy2004, huh? Interesting. I don't even know what that means. If you know what Flufferboy refers to, let me know. Is that some sort of Star Trek thing or something? He frequently cheats in court, and usually the judges let him. Not Schroeder. Binger has been cheating for years, but it wasn't until the Rittenhouse case that the world got a chance to watch him from their lazy boys. He commented on Kyle's post-arrest silence, a grave violation of the Constitution. He talked about other acts evidence that the judge prohibited him from bringing up in pretrial motion. This is also a grave error. There was some suspect evidence handling with drone footage, the identity of the jump kick man, and the FBI's fixed aircraft video footage. Binger wanted a conviction no matter what the cost was, and I've said this many times. Binger doesn't care if Kyle Rittenhouse was innocent or guilty. He wanted the conviction. And I'll go ahead and let you read the rest of this on your own. We'll go ahead and stop here. It says, what did Binger do on November 22nd, 2021? He spoke with a Chicago Tribune reporter, Stacy St. Clair. Why? His ego got the best of him. She asked him about the allegations of prosecutorial misconduct by Kyle. By Kyle? That's not what I would have written. He responded by saying Kyle was found not guilty, not innocent. We asked T. Clair about this email. He mounted a silly defense, telling KCE, Kenosha County Eye, I didn't talk to the Chicago Tribune. I emailed them. Oh, that makes it so much different. What did Binger do last week? He went on a far-left podcast called Miranda Warnings by David Miranda, the president of the New York Bar. He insulted Rittenhouse, the judge, and the jurors. He also said he is a gun owner and concealed carry license holder, which is odd. He is anti-gun rights. Well, that's not odd at all. Gun rights are for myself, but not for others. I mean, come on. He's a lawyer. He's supposed to have these rights, not anybody else. I mean, come on, the peons. This is not inconsistent at all. This is how they think. Rights are for themselves, but not for the others. By the way, I did do a show on the whole Miranda warnings deal. I have it in one of my videos. I'll post a link in the description. And then we have Jim Lunchbox Krause. There's the big boy himself. Jim Krause was more concerned trying to defame this publication than he was with winning the trial. He mentioned us on 3 separate occasions, and I won't play these, but I have played them in previous videos. And of course, this all goes down to the interrogation of Nathan DeBruin. Jim isn't that naive. He didn't mention us by name. This goes to Jim's credibility. Jim would later get in a yelling match with me. He called me a tool and other unpleasant things. No problem, I have a thick skin. Judge Schroeder had to admonish Krause. Krause was recently given advice from the Wisconsin Office of Lawyers Regulation for how to avoid breaking a local and Supreme Court rule. His conduct with me is being reviewed at this time by the OLR. Although Binger was in charge, Krause is just as culpable for the DA's office conduct as Binger. He badgered the internet-famous photo chad Nathan DeBruin. We wanted to tell Jim, thank you. We had hundreds of thousands of views. First jury trial since Rittenhouse for the dynamic Democratic duo. At T. Clair's first trial after Rittenhouse, he got a unanimous not guilty from the jury for a rape from 2014 with DNA evidence. We heard from jurors and believe Binger's poor credibility helped discredit the prosecution, leading to the loss. Krause's first trial after Rittenhouse didn't go his way either. He was not able to convict a man of second-degree sexual assault of a child under 12. So both these guys have taken on L's after the Rittenhouse trial. Will justice be hindered? Most people in Kenosha County now know that Gravely and 2 of his favorite prosecutors, T. Clair and Krause, are all very shady characters. These same people will sit on every jury deciding fates of dangerous hombres. With yesterday's hit-like murder, they had another murder in Kenosha, by the way. The city is now at triple the amount of homicides over the past 12 years. He will probably have many homicide trials in the near future. Will these jurors believe this DA's office? Will these guys and girls get set free? It's a very real possibility. This DA's office as a whole is dishonest, without integrity, and political. There are, of course, a handful of hardworking and honest prosecutors that work in this office. It is a shame for them that the entire office suffers. There is only one real solution. Gravely, T. Clair, and Krause must resign. Now, I can't take on that kind of opinion because I'm not from Kenosha. It's not up for me to decide who is their prosecutors and who isn't. But Kevin Mathewson, the writer, is from Kenosha. He can make such a claim. And there's Kevin. Oh, I like the shirt. Look at this. Don't get brazen with me. Ha, ha, ha. And I looked at there. By the way, he's got a whole bunch of merchandise available here for sale. You got the little mugs and the water dispensers or water containers. And even some hoodies and T-shirts and such. So prices seem pretty reasonable. T-shirt, $16.99. Yeah, that's not bad. So if you really want to support Kenosha County Eye, and believe me, you really, really need to appreciate what Kevin Mathewson has done. He was the one person in Wisconsin that was able to get us the real news and keep us informed of developments. So those of you who are really interested in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial really owe him a lot. Why don't you go on the website there and pick up some merchandise? I think I'm going to go get me maybe a T-shirt or something. Like my video, subscribe to my channel.